Oh, you stay up till the 7th?
Yeah, and so we.
Oh crap! You want some ice cream? Okay. I didn't. Oh, you said the 7th with the beer?
Yeah.
Oh crap, dude. I'm sorry. All right, so we got the water. Yeah, I'm gonna go get the food. All right. You want sausage and links and.
Not links, just
Okay. All right.
And are you gonna make bacon?
Yeah.
Okay, one piece of bacon,
Okay.
piece of sausage,
All right.
and then you're gonna make biscuits. They're up there.
Yep. Oh shit.
Oh, and then we.
Your other Diet Cokes are up, right?
No, they're in the pantry.
Okay, good. So that's the other 12 minutes. All right.
Okay. We don't
Yeah.
do that right now. You can do that. Right
Okay. All right. Well, so you want the bacon and the folks?
Oh, folks.
Oh, folks. Okay, that's cool.
Oh, and the biscuits are in the top.
Yeah.
And then we want to use the Irish butter.
The Irish butter. Kerry Gold. What's not to like about Irish products? I mean, it's pretty much like the best there is, dude. So, yeah, I mean, it's probably expensive to get imported butter from Ireland. It's kind of like a luxury, but anyways. Yeah, our relatives are Irish, so let's give a shout out for Daddy out here. Yeah, it's, okay. All right, so you want the Irish Gold? You want the hash browns? Yeah, all right. Huh? Yeah, and gravy. You want the hash browns and gravy? All right. Okay. And biscuits. You want the whole thing? All right. You want the works? Okay, the whole show. Okay, that's cool. The big. You want the Wheeler Dealer Grand Slam? The Ice Scott. Welcome to Ice Scott, man. Take your order. I told you about the guy who was drunk and he went sleeping outside the IHOP. How funny that shit was. Yeah. No, they kicked him out because he was sleeping and he was wasted in the IHOP like at 5 in the morning. And then I got in my car and I saw the dude. He was sleeping on the sidewalk with his shoes. That was pretty crazy, but anyways. What? When he sobered up and he woke up off the shoes? That would have been hilarious, yeah. Yeah. I did feel sorry for him, but I didn't know what to do. Yeah, I didn't know what that dude was on, though. That's the problem. He could have been a criminal. He could have been on heroin or speed or whatever. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, he looked like he was so high that he didn't know where he was at and stuff, yeah. Yeah, it was messed up. All right, I'll start getting on record. Sorry, Mom. All right, love you. All right. Live through what? Do you have enough water and soap? All right. Well, I'm gonna get cooking, so hopefully you pull that. All right. Okay. Huh? Okay. All right. Sorry, Mom. All right. Okay. Right. Well, where did the genesis for the Expandaballs start? It was the genesis of the idea. Actually, it happened in second grade. It was like I was in second grade in 1988, and me and my friends went to second grade. Just little kids, and we're in the elementary school shit, and there's not much to talk about. If you're a kid, you can talk about like Mario Brothers and stuff like that, like little kid stuff they talk about. So I don't know what they talk about today, Minecraft or some kind of shit. So back then, but all we had was Nintendo. So all we talked about was Nintendo, and so all we did was talk about Mario, and we talked about Arnold. We talked about Hollywood, and then like Nintendo. So that's all we talked about because that's all that was around back then. So we start brainstorming one day, all the kids, and we're in second grade. Everybody gets out their lunch kit. We start eating the sandwiches and potato chips and you know, the soda or whatever. And I put on Expandaballs. I'm sorry, that's pretty loud.
You did what?
Expandaballs.
What's that?
Expandables.
Oh, Expendables.
Yeah. Expendables. Yeah.
I need some
Huh? Oh, you need muscle rub? Did you say I dancing and stuff or what? Oh yeah. Oh, do you have? Oh, did you get enough rub? All right, I'm gonna go get food. I'm sorry, mom. I'm just joking, baby. All right, 11. All right, no. I'm sorry. What? I'm just playing, mom. I'm not even serious. So I'm joking about baby boomers go to their teams and stuff. I'm joking around. So, all right, so we get the. So we're watching Expandaballs and expand the dick for the girls. Yeah, we're gonna fire up these bad boys. This is the hash browns, and then I don't know. I guess we should get the what's going on? Yeah. I like when they play that music. It's like yeah, I love it. So what happened? Yeah. Yeah. So everybody's like 8 years old in 1988 or 7, 8, 9, and everybody's in the class back then. It's like Stranger Things or something, and so all the kids are like, "Yeah, you gotta have something to talk about if you're in the class, something juicy." Now it would be an inappropriate topic, right? To be like a little kid and be like, "I sucked Mary Jane's pussy the other day." Okay, that probably wouldn't be like the most appropriate thing to say in grade school. So I need another. I need another angle, right? So the safest thing to talk about in elementary school that you don't go to the office or anything is that you talk about movies and video games. Okay, so talk about pop culture. That's a lot easier. Mary Jane's vagina. I really can't talk about that with the kids. Like we're doing it, but we're not talking about it, right? Because we're little kids. I can't tell the other kids, I sucked on Mary Jane's vagina and it was awesome. Yeah. So we stuck to safer topics. One of those safety topics was movies and movie stars and Hollywood. So he's about to jack a motherfucker. So all the kids are like, "Hey, what would be your favorite movie?" And I started. All the kids at the lunch table, second grade, 1988, started brainstorming, and quickly devolved or evolved into this. We were like, "This is our brainstorming session. Even though we don't control Hollywood, we're not rich motherfuckers who chomp cigars, and we're not like that." So. Um, we're not some rich ass dudes smoking cigars and driving Ferraris and shit. We're not. We're just like conjecture. Like, what would be your favorite movie? This is just uh, like as a like mental creative exercise. Like, what kind of movie would you like to see if you were like going to pay money, or your mom and dad or your family was going to take you to the movies? What would you go see? That? Like, what would be your like favorite fucking film to see, dude? And so it quickly came into, like a realm that was not really feasible back then. It quickly became into like a fantasy that was, I guess the word would be untenable for the time. Like in a pitch meeting, it would seem like really awesome, but then if the people figured out they had to pay for it, like in the real world, and the agents would have to talk to the guys and everything, then it would just become a fucking hassle, right? It would become a drag. Like I could tell a bunch of guys, like, hey guys, let's work together. Let's be buddies. We'll be stronger together. That sounds great in theory, but the reality of it is that they're going to be looking out for their own ass and they're going to stab me in the back. See, they're going to be like Judas. I'm going to be like Jesus. And the problem with that situation is that everybody's going to be looking out for their own ass, and they're not going to be working together. They're not going to pull together as a group to get the fucking job done. So reality versus fantasy, they're like way different worlds, right? I wish reality was the same world as the dream world, but they're not the same world. So, um, so we gotta go to Plan B or something, right? Because since no one's gonna work together, since everybody's gonna stab each other in the back, we need to come up with a more realistic version of what's going on, because that's called reality. So there's like a fantasy negotiator. So a fantasy negotiator is like, I'm going to get together with the Jews and the Palestinians and the Christians. I'm going to say, hey, let's create a holy temple dedicated to the Lord our God and Jesus Christ. And everybody can worship here and pray. And they can all worship and get along. And nobody kills each other. How about that? Everybody shares the Holy Land. In theory, I seem like a piecemeal, like a peacemaker. But in reality, guess what? The bombs and rockets and the terrorist explosions are going to happen right the day after. So I'm not going to be able to solve a conflict that has been in a blood brother religious feud that's been going on for thousands of years. I can't solve it overnight. Now every politician thinks, and they play around with the people. They go, "Oh, I can solve a blood feud where everybody wants to kill each other overnight, just like that, where they're so angry." But that's not possible. So, but let's say you don't have any. There's no money. There's no money problems. There's no time problems. There's no logistics problems. There's no people problems. There's no HR problems. There's no fucking. There's no fucking problems. Like it's just everything's a green light. Everything's like the Hollywood is like, oh, you're our darling, we love you, and you can do whatever you want, write whatever movie you want, and get your writing team together. I want you to make the best fucking movie you ever fucking dreamed of, and we'll finance it and everything. You don't have to worry about money. You don't have to worry about time necessarily. Just get it done. Like maybe they give you a deadline and say, do it in a year. Okay, they're like, at least have this movie ready, have the script ready by like Christmas. Okay, and that's it. That's all you have to do. Uh, so all the 8-year-olds sitting around like me, we got our lunch kits out. We're like, so what kind of movie would you like to see? And then it starts. Then it starts the unrealistic shit. It's like, I want to see a movie with Chuck Norris and fucking Bruce Willis and fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone and fucking Charles Bronson and fucking and then it starts going wild at that point. Like it starts getting crazy. Yeah, we make eggs, bacon, And good chickoos and everything. Now, were we the only kids or adults that thought of this idea? No. Probably every school lunchroom in America in 1989 was like, hey, what if there was a movie with like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis and Sylvester Stallone and fucking Chuck Norris? Everybody was thinking of that shit back then, okay? It was not necessarily an original idea. Why was that unfeasible though? Why was it never going to happen back then? Why was there not going to be a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Dolph Lundgren and fucking Sylvester Stallone and fucking Bruce Willis and everybody? The reason why is because all these superstar muscle dudes, they had their own agents, and they would not do a script where everybody's together because they would have to cut their pay to make the movie happen. And they wouldn't do that. They wanted the. I'm not saying they're greedy bastards or I'm not saying they're assholes. What it is like the contract. So if Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger they got a script and they saw all these actors were in this shit and signed up to the cast, they'd be like, "Well, how's my pay? Well, how does that help me?" And so it was. It's not like these guys weren't buddies. It's not like Arnold Schwarzenegger never met Chuck Norris or anything. What it was is like their agents were like, "Hey, you can get a better deal. You can make your own movie. You can get like 10 times what this is worth. Like you don't have to fucking, you know, you can hang out with these guys, but you can't be in the same movie with these guys because it'd be too expensive. Like we need money for the budget and the special effects, and we need budget for the computer graphics and the action and the fucking production team, and we don't have time to pay all these fucking badass actors to be in the same movie." So it was a great idea back in 1987, 1988, 1989, 1990. Get Harrison Ford, Arnold Schwarzenegger with Chuck Norris, with Bruce Willis, and fucking after the 90s, people wanted to get Steven Seagal, Jean Claude Van Damme in the same movie, and just whatever the action stars of the day were, they wanted to pile it on. I think at some point that you know Charles Bronson got too fucking old to be in the movie, so this is what happened. I'm gonna put you down in a fucking deep, dank, dark fucking hole. I like that. That scene's really great, actually. Barney Ross. I'm gonna put you down in a deep, dark ass, dank hole. I like that. That scene is like one of my favorite scenes in the movie, actually. So, Expandaballs came out when I was like 29 in the year 2009 or something. Way after, like billion years, light years, like in the 21st century. But I was like, well, these guys are still living, so we're getting our movie that we've been dreaming of for the past fucking 20 years. Now, the guys, when they sign up, they know they're going to take a fucking pay cut. They're not going to get 10 million, 20 million like back in the days because they already fucking know that. But they get a career boost because it's nostalgic and people are like, oh, remember when this guy was relevant? And they go, oh, and they get the pay. And the people go because they're nostalgic about 1980s, 1990s action movies, and they grew up with it. That's why they go spend all their money. So, what was your favorite Expendables? I think the first one was kind of like it was a little bit too gimmicky and like the third world dictator was like, "We will take care of this American disease," and it's a little bit too ham and fist. It's a little bit too tongue in cheek. I think I like the second one where they go fight in Europe and it's Jean Claude Van Damme is the bad guy. I think that's probably the oh my god, this is the best one because in the first one, Arnold Schwarzenegger he just got out of like being governor of California, so they couldn't show him too much. And then Expendables 2, he starts fighting and shit, and it gets a lot better. They start Mr. Church and Mr. Beach. They start showing him a lot more, and so I like Expendables 2 because I think it's like. Plus, Chuck Norris just shows up into the war zone. He just blows shit up, and then he fucking walks away. That's like the most badass part. And you know, if you grew up with Chuck Norris, you know how badass that shit is, dude. So I love that shit, dude. Is Expandables 2 about the Ukraine fighting Russians? I think I want to say that Expandables 2 is like they're fighting an evil force in a Slovakian land, I think. But I don't know if it's specifically the Ukrainians or they're specifically fighting the Russians. If that's the plot of Expendables 2, I'll be like amazed. I know in the first one they're fighting like third world dictators from South America and Central America. So. Oh, okay. Okay. So it's the plot is an after Soviet Union plot where nukes go missing. Okay, so this would be a standard post Cold War plot. Is you're making an action movie? Is that like the nukes went missing and in the Soviet collapse of the Soviet Union? Okay, and they're gone missing in some republic, breakaway republic, and so it's not like it's not a story where they're like fighting Russians and saving Ukrainians and shit. And so, anyways, yeah, I was. It was Bulgaria, so it's like they do go to Slavic nations and they're trying to ex-Soviet republics and trying to find the missiles, but you know, obviously this is a fiction. So all right, so we need to get our so yeah, like kind of flip these hash browns over. These ashy hash. We're gonna start the bake and hey, put some more butter on there. when we do any check out that. Oh, 400.
I'm sorry, I can't control your music here.
Creepy ass shit. So we need to get the. I love hash browns. So this is my biggest temptation right here. Do I think the pitch was script? I mean, the script was pitched. I'm sorry. I think at some point the script was written for the Expandaballs, and so all the agents got together, or all the executives of the movie companies, and they're like, "We can't do this. It's too expensive. The CGI, the production would be too expensive. The actors would be divas. It would be like Harrison Ford fighting with fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger and shit. It would be chaos." Now, it's not that Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, they were competing against each other, but was it a healthy competition? You know, I don't know how healthy it was, but it was competition. Okay. So Expendable 80, 1980s, 1990s would have been badass, but um, there'd be no like Jet Li and Jason Statham, and so you know. It's conceptually cool, but you have to work the logistics because just because of reality, and that's I know a lot of people are like, I don't want to hear about reality. That sucks. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but like essentially, reality kind of sucks because it's not as fun as like fantasy and dreams, right? And people don't like that. So, I mean, it would have been kick ass. It probably would have been legendary if it was made when the people were in their prime. They would have to get a pay cut, have to get an ego cut. Probably would have kind of sucked because probably the writers might not have known what to do. Like, how do we put Arnold Schwarzenegger and make him funny with Sylvester Stallone? He's so serious. And how do we make him with Chuck Norris, who's so serious? Trying to make the thing kind of like lighthearted, kind of campy would have been kind of difficult. So I guess it was the guys were getting older, and they were like, "Oh crap, what am I going to do?" Because our brand is no one cares anymore because it's the 21st century. Time's moving on. We're becoming fucking geezers, and so then finally Sylvester Stallone got the ball rolling and said, "Hey, let's make that movie. You know that movie we couldn't afford back in the 80s and the 90s. Let's do that. That's gonna be a big hit. Let's put Chuck Norris and fucking John Claude Van Damme and fucking Culture and Terry Crews and fucking and let's hook it up, dude. Let's make a badass movie." And they were like, "Yeah, let's put Bruce Willis and fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger and fucking everybody in the shit. Harrison Ford, Antonio Banderas, Jet Li, Wesley Snipes. Let's just fucking go out all out, dude." So at some point, the executives were like, "Yeah, we only live once. This is our grand master stroke plan, right? Like we don't want to see this shit fucking fail. Like this is our master fucking plan. This is our franchise. We're creating a franchise based off nostalgia from 1980s, 1990s action movies. It's gonna be a hit, I promise you." So they were like, maybe there's some jitters. I think. And so you get this gravy going on. Now, let's just get the elephant out the room right now. Okay, let's just get it over with. Because I know this is going to be an elephant in a lot of people's rooms. Liam Hemsworth is the poor man. I'm sorry, is the poor man's Chris Hemsworth. I think everybody knows that. So whether you're watching Expendables or you're watching Independence Day Resurgence, everybody knows that if you just need a guy who looks good and he's kind of like Chris Hemsworth, his brother, they just hire Liam Hemsworth. Okay, he's not a great actor. He's just a handsome younger dude that they hire in action movies. That's it. It's Jean-Claude Van Damme show is like, he's a strong soldier. Let's see how strong he is. I love it. What we're trying to do is make the gravy here, and then we're going to transition to the eggs. We already got everything else going on over here. They say everybody's steak will be done soon, and then we're on our way. All right, so we get. Oh.
This is the symbol of the gods, the pet of Satan. They say, the key that belongs to me. Does it? Yes, not your life. God, you have to have it. That's not the case. It will force me to cut his heart out.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, there's plenty. Yeah, you got vegetable oil, extra virgin olive oil. You got pretty much almost everything. Yeah. Sorry you stayed up till 7, Mom. Woo. No, it's all right. Breakfast's coming up soon, okay? Oh. You want something for dinner? Why don't you have your TV dinner?
Well, if I feel better later, I think I'm going to cook, boil some chicken breast in chicken broth,
Yeah?
and then add potatoes,
Yeah?
chopped up potatoes,
Oh, really?
and just like a little wedge of onion.
Oh, okay. Really? You're gonna make chicken potato later? Oh wow! But chicken broth?
Yeah.
Oh man, you need to get some rest. Let me how many eggs you want? You want 2? 1? You took the beer and stayed up till 7? Oh crap! So I was passed out at 3. Oh no, I'm sorry, Mom. Oh, love it. Okay, I'm sorry. No, it's all right. Okay, I'm gonna go. So you want one? You don't want 2 eggs?
No, 1 egg.
Okay. All right. So I got
The
the.
biscuits are not working.
Here's the hash brown right here. Yeah, I'm gonna take them out right now.
Okay.
Is this enough hash browns for us?
Oh yeah, just give me 1 tablespoon.
You just want 1 tablespoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard for me to eat right now.
All right. I'm gonna take the biscuits out.
I'm gonna try to get
I've got.
to get some gravy and a sausage biscuit down, and
All
a
right.
piece of bacon,
Yeah.
and my egg.
All right. Okay. No, it's all right. I got it. No. 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 I'm sorry. I was just joking about baby boomers go to the diaper. You know, every time I say that, I'm joking. I know. I'm better now. Well, I know. I'm sorry, Mom. Yeah. I'm sorry. No. Well, all right, love too. No, I love you. Let's get this going on. Yeah. All right. Look, Mom. There's no. I was just playing around. All right. Love you. Let's,
What was in the case?
I want to get this going on here. You got the biscuits. Try to get the what's happening over here. So Expendables, Expendables, one is all right. Expandables 2 expands everything and like gets all the really famous dudes together in one movie. It starts to pay off a little bit. You know, when you see Bruce Willis with a machine gun, or Schwarzenegger with a machine gun, with Sylvester Stallone with a machine gun, fight Jean-Claude Van Damme, Chuck Norris shows up, blows shit up. You know it's fucking on. And so that movie hits the best, I think. Expandables 3, they try some weird shit. They try to get the guys who are like 65 and 70 to add all these young people, and it kind of doesn't work out very well. Is there anything that's funny about that movie? Yeah, there's a meta moment. When I mean meta, it means it's like surreal or it's out of the reality box. What happens is they rescue Wesley Snipes. They break him out of prison. What was funny about that is that Wesley Snipes was a multi-million-dollar actor and famous, really famous African American actor, and he um, wasn't paying his taxes. He didn't think he needed to pay taxes, so the Uncle Sam and the feds came after him, and he got put in jail. So it's kind of funny he's getting busted out of jail in Expendables 3. That's the kind of the meta part of it. It's worth it just to hear Bruce Willis and Sylvester Stallone talking shit to each other. That's like worth its weight in gold right there. So all right. Let's hook this up. So we got the break fast. Gotta put a spoon and a fork with some napkins. I guess would be a more like fucking hairs everywhere. And we take a tablespoon of the hash browns, right? Yeah. I think. Okay. We got the biscuits. We got the bacon. We just need to get some of that gravy for some of that gravy going. Yeah. All right. So I think we're doing pretty good on this. Go ahead and bring this to the. Oh, awesome! Oh, I got. Yeah, I know. I know. I had to take a shit. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm about to drop a bomb. Woo. Yeah, I need to take it down right now. Um, so let me get other egg cooking. So I guess it's welcome to I Scott. May I take your order? You want hash browns and grits? Okay. So Expandables 1 is like it's okay. It's kind of like I guess it's missed potential because Arnold Schwarzenegger and Mr. Church and Bruce Willis aren't in it enough for my taste. They kind of tease him, like they give Barney Ross the job, but it's not like they're involved in the plot really. So it kind of sucks. And then the second one, they're really involved in the plot and shit, and they show up a lot, so it's like way better. Expandaballs 3, everybody fucking shows up. It's badass. Mel Gibson's in it. I mean, it's fucking. Some gravy on that shit. Hey, bacon on that shit. Hey, make this shit bacony. Fucking shit. So, ooh. Ah, okay. So, um, now why in the Expendables movies they don't do a lot of geopolitics? They don't fight Russia and China, for instance. Um, so they added a Chinese lady because they want Chinese yuan. They want Chinese dollars, basically. Okay, so they're not going to insult the Chinese Communist Party in a movie and fight Chinese terrorists or government agents because that's not going to sell movie tickets. Okay, it's not going to sell movie tickets in China. You think the Chinese are going to allow a movie that's like fuck Chinese? No. Is Hollywood going to make me make a movie? Let me make a movie for Russian people, and it's going to say Vladimir Putin can suck my balls. No, they're not. All right. So if I'm going to appeal to a lot of different check boxes, then I need to get to work. Okay, so I need to put a Mexican, I need to put a transvestite, I need to put a Chinese person. Talking about cereal. It's not even that funny. It's just like bullshit. Okay, that's it. Let's go eat.